No. Hey. Hey, what are you doing? Better stop posturing on me, boy.
Howdy folks, Michael Anthony here, and Bucktober is in full swing, baby. Archery 2025. So in this video, you're gonna see the first half of the season. Lots of activity starting from opening day on, including a bizarre and unique encounter I had with a big old mature buck just a few days ago. So let's go ahead and start right at the beginning of the season. Look at some of the highlights and activity that I was seeing out there in the big woods of Ohio, leading up to a bizarre encounter I had with a big old wily mature buck. All right, guys. Michael Anthony here. It is Saturday, September 27th, and I'm just getting geared up. Opening day of archery in Ohio. I didn't go out this morning, but I don't know, it's a little after 3:30. We're gonna head out for an evening hunt. Got a northeast wind. It's actually really hot out. So I got a perfect stand for that wind direction in an area where I've already been seeing some big bucks. We got a really nice 11 point and a 12 point that have been showing up in and around the area where this stand is. So I'm excited for this first hunt just to see what happens. But anyway, I also got my Charlie Kirk shirt on. Much love to the beautiful Erica Kirk and the rest of the family. Sending lots of love and prayers out to them. I'm gonna dedicate this first hunt, this first sit of the season, to Charlie and his family. And I'm gonna get the rest of my gear on and head on out. So I'll see you out in the stand.
All right, guys, up in the stand here. So we got this opening right here, and then this is right where the bedding starts. So the bedding drops down gradually into a valley. And those deer love to travel up through there. So we got shots here. We got shots in here. We also have a couple shots behind us if something happens behind us here. So I'm just getting settled in. I'm gonna throw my coat on, and the hunt has began. 2025, baby. Let's do it. All right, guys. Sunday the 28th, headed in, do a little hunting, baby. It's just too hot. It's brutally hot. It's in the mid 80s, and it's just brutal. But there is a nice northwest breeze. I'm heading into a stand called the Bluff Creek Stand. It's good for that wind. We're gonna be down over near a bench off a north-facing slope near a point. It's actually the opposite end of the point that I shot my big mature 9-point last year. We're just gonna be on the other side of it. It's a big point. It's a really big point. So from that other stand that I shot that buck last year, it's probably 300 yards, 400 yards maybe. And we'll just be on the other side of that point. So it should be a little cooler down in there, and I'm hoping maybe to catch a big boy. Just heard some racket down in the woods. I don't know if it was turkey or deer. There's been a lot of turkey right up here. Anyway, I'm hoping to maybe catch something coming out of the bedding down off the point, maybe a nice big old buck. It's early season. we've been seeing some big boys around, so they're around. I mean, feels a little too hot to be shooting boons and popes, but I'll take it. I'll take it if the big boy wants to step out. So we're gonna get down there. I'm about to drop in. I follow a ditch down towards the bench, and then I cross the bench, and my stand's right there. So that ditch, it helps hide my access, create a little bit of a thermal draw as well. So I'll see you down in the stand. All right, so when I first got down here, there was some turkeys right in here, and I spooked them. They actually flew down off the drop off here. They didn't do any putting, but they took off and just flew. So hopefully that didn't screw us up. I was able to get up here nice and quietly. We had a nice breeze that made a little bit of noise, so I think I got up here nice and safe. But let me show you what I got here. Swap this around. So this point drops down right here, and there's lots of bedding that starts right over in there and then goes down this point. There's little benches all the way down the point, and then it drops off real steep down here into a creek. And there's real thick stuff further out that way, and it just turns into really nice bedding the further out you get towards this point. And then there's a lot of trails that come up this way. The only challenge with this spot is there's a bench here, and if something comes straight across the bench, we're not that much higher, so we can potentially get busted. Luckily, we're in a big oak tree, so it's got us covered really well. But I'm anticipating a mature buck would come up through here, right through the point here, right off the edge. So we're just going to be nice and quiet. The sun's dropping. I could hear acorns falling, so we got some really big oaks. I'm in one of them. So this might be the ticket. We'll find out.
All right, so just got out of the woods. It was kind of a fun hunt. I had turkeys all around me. I had that doe come up. She ended up busting me because one, the camera, I didn't have it locked all the way, so the tilt started slowly moving and she caught that movement. And then there was movement coming up the point and she was still up on the bench, and I grabbed my bow and she caught that movement. But then that bobcat came in. That was pretty cool. So anyway, headed out. See you on the next sit.
So we're in drought-like conditions here in this part of Ohio. So the leaves on the ground, everything's crunchy and dry. I'm trying to be as quiet as possible. But man, these leaves are dry. We haven't had rain in a while. There's no rain in the forecast. We got about 100 yards to go till we get to our stand. Get down there as quiet as possible. It's nice and cool down in the woods. I got it nice and quiet. Didn't spook anything on the way in. So right where I'm sitting, acorns falling everywhere. I'm in an oak tree. There's some big oak trees all around over here. And acorns everywhere. Now, behind the camera, there's a saddle that those deer love to travel through. We're not on the saddle itself. I have another stand over there. It's probably 100 yards away. But they travel through there and they come right past the front of this stand, typically. Sometimes they travel through that saddle around the point. There's a point over here, and then they'll pop out kind of to my left. And directly to my right, there is a really treacherous gully ditch that forms and goes down to the creek bottom. It's so steep you can't even walk it. It's got bluffs, but the head of that ditch is right over here. It's a typical ditch funnel. And so I'm right in the hub of movement. There's a lot of trails that intersect right here in this spot. I keep hearing acorns fall. I don't know if you're hearing them, but I got this nice evergreen behind me. It provides some really good cover. And then there is bedding about 50 yards from here. There's thick bedding that starts. But anyway, we're gonna settle in and sit till dark, so see what happens.
10 a.m. Had that doe and 2 fawns come in a little bit ago. That's about it. I'm gonna be climbing down soon. There's a couple things I want to do right here around the stand. Some tree limbs I want to move and things like that. I didn't get a chance to check this stand before the season just to make sure we had our shooting lanes and stuff. I have a mock scrape down there I gotta reopen, and then I'll be heading in. So I will see you on the next sit. All right, guys. Got that mock scrape opened back up. Got the licking branch there. So this bench wraps around a point. T Money shot his buck last year's nice 10 point right out here. So the stand's up there and we drop in from the top. But we're gonna grab the bow, head back in. I'll see you on the next sit. Top of the morning, you fabulous folks out there. So I'm not in the stand today. It's Sunday, October 5th. It's gonna be 84 degrees today, crazy. But we do have a cold front coming in later in the week. So I have some traveling I got to do this week, so I probably won't get out again until probably maybe Friday, definitely Saturday and Sunday, but probably Friday I'll be able to get out too. It's going to drop down like 20 degrees with highs in the 60s. So I'm excited for that. That should be good. Anyway, what I'm working on today, I got some projects I want to finish up today before that cold front moves in later in the week. And so I was throwing a new AC unit in this old shed here. So this old shed was on the property when we bought it. It's fully insulated. It's got electrical in it. Here, I'll give you a little tour. We've been using it as holding some of our construction materials, but it had an old AC unit right here and didn't cool anymore, so I yanked it out. But what I'm creating with this space, and I've been wondering, what am I going to do with this? It's a nice shed, just needs cleaned up. And it's going to be our walk-in cooler. So thanks to T Money, he told me about the device that you could buy to put on your AC unit for a small space to create essentially a walk-in cooler. So I bought it. It's the CoolBot. And it's essentially a device here. So it's this device that you hook up to your AC window unit, and it overrides that minimum temperature setting. So the AC unit will only go down to 60. That's pretty standard for AC units. But this device will allow it to get down 30s, 40s, whatever you need. And so I got a stainless steel processing table I'm getting. It's being shipped now. So I'm creating a little butcher shop / walk-in cooler. So when we start shooting some deer and we need to hang them, we want to dry age them, we want to process them. You know, if it's nice out, we do that outside. If it's too hot, then you got to rush through it. And I hate that. I love just taking my time. And so we'll be able to quickly cool down the meat. We could hang up some quarters. I got, I don't know where I put it, but I got some meat hooks. I'm going to put some eye bolts up in the studs in the ceiling and have some meat hooks so we could hang quarters. We could dry age, and we'll be able to just take our time. Fast approaching mid-October. It's going to be good. So anyway, hope you folks are having a great season so far. We'll see you on the next one. Yo, what's up, guys? I'm just getting back to Ohio. It's 4:45. So I'm not going to get much time in the woods, but I am going to get out and sit, even if it's for less than 2 hours. So I'm almost back to the cabin, and we'll be hopping in to get a hunt in. And then we'll be hunting the rest of the weekend too. So see you out there, baby. All right, so I got up here nice and quiet. We had some good cover from the wind, which was awesome. Didn't make any unnatural sounds.
you know, like metal on metal. So we're gonna have about 2 hours to hunt, so not too bad. Let's do it, baby. All right, guys, just got back to the cabin. Didn't see anything during my sit tonight, but man, it feels like hunting season now. It was nice and cool. Felt like something big was going to happen the whole time. I was kind of on edge, but just after it got dark, I was kind of quietly packing my stuff up. I did hear a deer coming down the trail to my left, and then he kind of cut up through the thick stuff into the woods behind me, and then somewhere went up into that bedding area, crossing over behind me. So I never actually saw him. He didn't bust me or anything. Heard him creep through. I'm guessing it was a buck just by the demeanor of his walk. And that was about it. When I got out, I did see, I had my green light on. I did see some fresh tracks going up the trail when I went up behind the stand, headed back in. So something came through. Might have been one of them big old boys. Who knows? But we'll be back out in the morning. So we'll see you then. We got frosty windows, baby. We got frosty windows. It's in the 40s. We're getting ready to head on out. Woo-wee! First cool down of the year this week, guys. So I'm getting ready to head in. It's going to be light out here in about 30 minutes. My spot is just down over on the bench here. We're going to be sitting in a bench stand, so let's get down there. So I got up in the stand and I was getting all ready. It was still dark out. And I used my iPhone to film with. And I have a MagSafe magnetic mount for it on the camera arm here. And so I reached back to grab something out of my bag that's behind me on the tree. And I smacked my phone off the holder, and it flew out of the tree, landed on the ground. And I was like, screw it, I'm not climbing down. You know, it's still dark. It's gonna be light soon. I'm just gonna hunt. And then about, 15 minutes later, I'm like, wait a second. The mount is magnetic. And I looked down and I could see my phone was laying upside down. So the back was exposed. Like, I wonder if I can lower that MagSafe mount with my hoist rope and suck it up. And it worked. I probably spent 5 minutes dangling it. Tied it to the hoist rope, dangled it down below me, and sure enough, the magnet grabbed it, and I pulled it up, and here we are. I never had to climb down. It was pretty quiet this morning. It's beautiful weather. It finally feels like hunting weather. It's in the 40s right now. Kind of clear skies. Sun's just starting to come up. I haven't seen anything or heard anything yet, so we're just going to sit tight, and hopefully I don't drop anything else. All right, guys, I'm back at it. Actually warmed up quite a bit today. It's in the 70s, so that hunting-like weather has disappeared. But it's in the low 70s, and I think it's gonna drop pretty quickly into the 60s here. So So I'm sitting in a new stand location on these giant field. It's going to be a good observation type sit. I forgot my binoculars, which I was intending on bringing, and I was talking to some family as I was leaving, and it totally slipped my mind. But we could see a good 300 yards at the furthest point, and we are right along a travel route here. Deer travel right along this tree line, and so, you know, who knows, maybe we'll get a shot at something too, maybe even take a doe, we'll see. But the wind has shifted to the north, and it's going to continue to shift northeast, which is perfect for this stand. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to see what we see tonight. So hopefully we get some action. There's one good doe that came out. I spotted her at about 150 yards, but she's actually moved out further. She's about 250 right now. Looks like a good mature doe by herself. There's a little buck out in the field. He's about 100 yards out. He looks like a little forkhorn. We got about an hour and a half till dark, so there's plenty of time. See what else comes out. I'll see if I can get some footage of him. There's trees in the way right now. Hey guys, just headed back in. Just found a nice scrape here, right under this white oak. I'm headed back to a stand I have on the corner of this little hidden field. I call it the hidden stand. Lots of big oaks around the edge, lots of cover down off of point, and there's a bench that wraps around about, I don't know, 50 yards down below there. So we're gonna see if we can get something coming up. We got a northwest wind, which is good for this spot, so we're gonna get in there quietly, see what happens. I just got up in the stand, and there's a scrape right there. And then there's a scrape right there. It's a little warm, but it just something in the air feels right for this afternoon. It's a little after 4. Just got done with work, ran back, got in this stand. This is a little hidden field. Mostly weeds, but there was some corn and soybeans in here earlier in the year that the deer annihilated the corn as it was growing. They loved the soybeans, but this field hasn't been bothered at all. It's kind of hidden, and it backs up to my neighbor's field, which hasn't had any activity either. So there's really big oaks all along here. The acorns were dropping real well. There was some scrapes and rubs coming in, and then there's a point out there where I created bedding cover about going on 2 years ago. And then there's a nice bench system that wraps around there, more bedding down there. And we got a northwest wind, which is right in my face. And I don't sit in the stand often. I didn't sit in it last year at all. But I thought, that's a good wind. Thought it's close, I can get to it quickly, quietly. Why not go hit it up? So I'm liking the way it feels. Let's see what happens.
All right, so the first half of the season's been exciting because we're seeing consistent activity every sit. Seeing deer, seeing turkey, had that decent 8-point come in and rack up the sapling in front of me. That was really exciting. But what you're about to see next is something I've never experienced before. It was one of those unique and interesting experiences that was a bit nerve-wracking too. But I'm glad it happened nonetheless because it was such a cool experience. So let's go ahead and take a look at this next clip. All I could tell you is that I was walking in the dark. To give you a little context as to what was leading up to this, I was walking in the dark to a stand extra early. I wanted to get to my stand an hour before daylight because I had to cut through a portion of a field. And as I was walking in, I spooked a deer, which I believed was a doe. She took off running. But she ran past this other deer who was bedded down, and I could see his eyes. I didn't know what he was at the time because I had the green light on. Let's just say he didn't spook so easily like that doe did. I ended up switching to the white light, realizing that he was a nice, mature buck. He wasn't spooked. He wasn't intimidated. And in fact, right after I start filming him, listen for the snort-wheeze and the scraping on the ground and check out what happens next.
Hey. Get out. Hey, hey, get out. Hey. Hey. This motherfucker won't leave. Nah. That. No. Hey. Hey, what are you doing? Better stop posturing on me, boy. The buck's trying to fight me. Just trying to get to my stand.
That was crazy. I just got in my stand. I thought that buck was gonna charge me. He snort-wheezed, and then he was posturing and circling towards me. And I'm yelling at him and running towards him and stuff, and he won't leave. I couldn't believe it. And then I was like, should I leave? Because I've been yelling, like probably blowing up this spot, but I was like, no, I'll just get in the stand. And he kind of ran towards the stand. So I circled in a little further out, but as I got up in the stand, I could hear him still and over in the woods here. And then finally he started snorting. So I don't know if he finally caught a whiff of me or what, but that was one of the most intense things I've experienced with a buck. I mean, he was like ready to brawl. Crazy. All right, sun feels good. So, haven't had any more action. Had that fawn bedded down. It's just a doe fawn. She's, I don't know, 25, 30 yards behind me. She hung out for like an hour, just chewing her cud. And she got up, headed up behind me this way. So it's been an interesting morning. Picked a fight with a big old 10-point and had that fawn come in after it got light out. Lots of squirrels, heard a lot of turkeys. That's about it. So I'm gonna be probably climbing down here soon. I gotta be somewhere at noon, but I figured I'm gonna definitely have an arrow nocked in case the big bad 10-point is trying to come in for round 2. Because then it'll be legal to shoot him. He was a nice buck. He reminded me of my buck I got last year. Wide, heavy beams. Probably 130 class. But anyway, it's gonna get really hot today. Actually, it's gonna be up almost 80 degrees. So I don't think I'm gonna go out this afternoon. Probably just aim for the morning tomorrow, but gotta love it, man. This time of the year is exciting. And that interaction with that buck this morning was one for the books. All right, we'll see you.
All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video so far. The first half of the season's been exciting. Man, how about that big mature 10-point? He wanted to fight me, can you believe that? So I don't know if he thought I was another deer or if he actually knew I was a human. I don't know, but that was wild. Anyway, it's October 23rd, Thursday, October 23rd, and I got one more day of work, and then I'm off for 3 weeks of hunting. So I'm gonna be out there hardcore, hitting it up, hoping to bring some more good footage to you folks, and hopefully a successful harvest or two. So I'll be hunting Ohio, Pennsylvania. I'm gonna go up to Wisconsin, hunting public land for a week, maybe even do a couple trips into West Virginia. We'll see how the rest of the season unfolds. I'll see you on the next one. Good luck out there. Stay safe, my friends.